Demon Copperhead, The Tragedy. Demon Copperhead, The Tragedy and Triumph of a Forgotten Child. Part 1, Introduction, a boxing match from the bottom. Welcome back to the channel. Let's start with a birth story unlike any other. First, I was born, like a little prize fighter with my fists up, ready for a fight. That is how Demon Copperhead introduces himself. He was born on the floor of a trailer park bathroom, his mother barely a teenager herself and struggling with addiction, his father already a ghost of the past. In her Pulitzer Prize-winning masterpiece, Demon Copperhead, Barbara Kingsolver doesn't just tell the story of one boy. She writes a blistering indictment of a forgotten America. This is Appalachia, a land of breathtaking mountains and broken dreams, where big pharmaceutical companies sowed the seeds of a white death in the form of painkillers. Demon faces everything: a crumbling foster care system, labor exploitation, and an addiction that threatens to swallow him whole. How does a child with nothing but a shock of red hair and a sharp wit survive this living hell? Today, we witness the raw, unfiltered journey of a modern-day survivor. Part 2, The Journey of Little Demon, the Foster Care Trap. Demon's life is a series of hurdles that would break most grown men. After the tragic death of his mother, he is thrust into the gears of a social welfare system that is fundamentally broken. A. The failure of the safety net. Kingsolver describes the foster care system not as a sanctuary, but as a soul-crushing machine. Demon is moved from one dysfunctional home to another. In one, he is treated as slave labor on a farm, starving while he harvests tobacco. In another, he is neglected and ignored. Through Demon's eyes, we see a world where child services often provides neither service nor care for children. He is a boy who is owned by the state, but loved by no one. B. The light of talent, football, and art. Despite the darkness, two things give Demon a sense of identity. First is his talent for drawing. His comic sketches allow him to see the world through a different lens, turning his pain into art. Second is American football. On the field, he isn't just a poor trailer kid, he is a star. Football brings him temporary fame and a feeling of belonging. However, the world of high school sports becomes the very gateway to his greatest enemy. A brutal injury on the field leads a doctor to hand him a small green pill, OxyContin. This moment changes everything. Part 3. The opioid monster, the medical trap. This is the most critical part of the story, serving as both a narrative peak and a chilling social commentary: the institutional betrayal. Kingsolver masterfully exposes how a generation was betrayed by the medical establishment. Honest workers and promising teenagers like Demon were turned into addicts not by choice, but by prescription. These pills were marketed as safe, but they were chemical shackles. The downward spiral. We watch as Demon loses everything. He loses his athletic career, his friends, and eventually, his sense of self. The author's description of addiction is brutally realistic. You can almost feel the physical ache of the withdrawal and the desperate, hollow hunger for the next dose. Demon becomes a ghost in his own life, a victim of a corporate-sponsored plague that turned his home into a graveyard of potential. It is a heartbreaking look at how the smartest guys in the room in Big Pharma profited from the destruction of an entire region. Part 4. Evaluation. Why this won the Pulitzer. So, why did Demon Copperhead win the Pulitzer Prize? Why is it considered a masterpiece? A unique and gritty voice. The greatest achievement of this book is Demon's voice. He narrates his life in a language that is rough, funny, and deeply poetic. He has the Appalachian soul, a mixture of stubborn pride and dark humor. You will find yourself laughing at his wit one moment and weeping for his losses the next. The Dickensian connection. Kingsolver intentionally mirrored the structure of Charles Dickens' David Copperfield. She took a 19th century story about poverty in London and showed that the same injustices are happening right now in 21st century America. By doing this, she proves that the struggle of the disposable child is a universal, timeless tragedy that we are failing to solve. A message of resilience. Despite walking through the various levels of hell, Demon never loses his capacity for compassion. He finds salvation through the two things that sustained him: his ability to tell his own story through writing and the enduring power of love. He proves that while the world may see him as trash, he is a human being with an unbreakable spirit. Your past might be a disaster, but it doesn't have to be your conclusion. Part 5. Conclusion and the series finale. The final message of Demon Copperhead is a call to action. Every child deserves a chance, and every painful story deserves to be heard. A final wrap-up for the series. And with that, we have come to the end of our epic 15-book journey. We have explored the cutthroat business world of Enron and the genius of Steve Jobs. We have faced the dark dystopias of Scythe and the haunting mysteries of the Institute. We have learned about identity through the color of water and witnessed the resilience of the human soul in Demon Copperhead. Each of these 15 books has been a window into a different life, a different lesson, and a different part of the human experience. Whether it's business strategy, psychological thrillers, or Pulitzer-winning literature, books are the ultimate bridge between us and the rest of the world. Thank you so much for following this long-form series on my channel. It has been a privilege to share these stories with you. If you've enjoyed this 15-book marathon, please hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss our upcoming deep dives. Which of these 15 stories stayed with you the most? What should we decode next? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, keep your fists up like Demon, stay curious, and keep reading. Goodbye.